Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of The Hour of Truth by Percival Wilde. This, The Hour of Truth, is taken from A Question of Morality and Other Plays by Percival Wilde. The scene is set at Baldwin's cottage and it is Sunday afternoon and it is raining. Robert Baldwin has gone outside and the family is worried whether he has an umbrella or not. Another reason is his children are really anxious and his wife is worried because they are talking about themselves about John Grisham, in whose bank Mr. Baldwin worked. Now, due to financial crisis, the bank is closed and John Grisham is found guilty for that and is in jail. John Grisham's trial is on the next day and John Baldwin is giving evidence against him. But John Grisham had called him that day, and that is why they are all anxious to know why Grisham had called Baldwin. Eve has a doubt whether Baldwin has involved in wrecking of the bank because every newspaper is mentioning that, and Baldwin does not say anything against it. Since Baldwin is working under Grisham's orders, the family has a doubt whether he is involved in the bank crash. But Martha firmly believes that Baldwin will never do anything at all. He actually found out about the bank crash by accident. John immediately says that he saw Donovan, the assistant cashier, the last day at the athletic club. Donovan had also been working there for 8 years and he also did not mention anything. And John has a suspicion that his father must have known about it because he is the only witness against John Grisham. Since John was named after John Grisham, John feels that because of John Grisham's, his name is damaged. Even he mentions that John Grisham has acquired a lot of wealth in these 20 years while his father is getting just $60 a week. Martha tells that her husband is very dedicated to his work. Whatever John Grisham asked him to do without revolting, he obeyed. Finally, Robert Baldwin comes back home. Everyone wants to know how the crash happened in the bank. And he tells that even he knew what John Grisham was doing only one day before the crash. It is under his pressure that John Grisham closed the bank. He even tells them why John Grisham asked him to meet. John Grisham wanted him to tell, "I don't remember," when the court asks anything about the bank crash to Robert Baldwin. If Robert Baldwin does this, he had said that he will get $100,000. But Robert Baldwin, being an honest man, does not accept this proposal. When the whole family heard about the money, their mind began to change. They began to convince John Grisham. They wanted to know whether the depositors would lose any money. And Baldwin replied that no one will lose anything. Now the family comes to know that the money is safe because John Grisham's crime was that he misappropriated the funds, but he did not lose the funds. So now the family begins to persuade Robert Baldwin to say the lie and to help John Grisham. At first, Robert Baldwin is shocked. But Martha tells him that since they named their son after John Grisham, it will be a disgrace to their son. Also, it was John Grisham who sponsored John's baptizing. With these words, she forces Robert Baldwin to help John Grisham. According to Eve, if John Grisham tells the depositors that he will pay back everything, then they will hate Robert Baldwin for sending John Grisham to jail. John supports her by saying that nobody wants to see him punished. He also feels that if John Grisham does not go to jail, he will start a business where he will make Robert as his partner. And this makes Robert Baldwin get angry. Martha tries to convince Robert Baldwin by saying that now John is the sole breadwinner of the family, but his income is not sufficient for the family to survive. If Robert accepts $100,000 from John Grisham, the family can lead a comfortable life. Robert Baldwin never thinks that his family will change after hearing the amount which John Grisham will pay. If Robert Baldwin says, "I don't remember," in the court, it makes him sad. He calls them shams, liars, hypocrites, and thieves. Still, the family persuades him to accept the money. But this time, Mr. Marshall, the president of the Third National, arrives in the home. He gives a piece of happy news to Robert Baldwin and his family by telling them that a good position is awaiting Robert Baldwin in the Third National. He heard from John Grisham that Robert Baldwin had refused to tell lies in the court, which actually prompted John Grisham to confess. Mr. Marshall is impressed by Robert Baldwin's honesty. As the play ends, he says, Robert Baldwin's family, I can only say to you what every man will be saying tomorrow, and that is how highly I honor and respect your husband. And here ends the play. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends, and if you're not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.